black text with a white background. The new departure, finding voting rights for women in the 14th Amendment. Next, a woman with silver hair and glasses wearing a long, mid-1800s style blue dress stands in front of a mural of an 1800s St. Louis riverfront.
They are going to be unlike other married couples. Normally, when a woman enters a marriage, she disappears into the marriage. Sometimes only her friends and family know her first name. She becomes Mrs. John Jones, but her first name is not known, and she is in the marriage. There's a partnership here, true, but there's only one person who has rights, legal rights, and that is the husband. In Missouri, women could not, certainly not vote, women could not control inherited property. They could not buy or sell it. Women cannot sue or be sued. They cannot make contracts, cannot have legal guardianship of a child, cannot sit on juries, cannot control their own wages and personal property. The husband takes over. These two, Frances and Virginia Minor, rely on each other and on themselves.
Black and white photo of
her husband is a lawyer. He practices law downtown here. He at times was at the old courthouse, which is part of the Gateway Arch National Park. He is going to set up a trust. Not unusual. But with the trustee, he makes it so that his wife, Virginia, can buy and sell property. He makes it so that if the trustee won't do things the way Virginia Minor wants, she can fire him. And she can replace him with another trustee and keep appointing them if needed. She can choose to leave property to any children they might have. She does not have to leave the property to him. And what he is trying to do is set her up as closely as he can to being equal to a man. He can't really do it, but it's as close as he can come.
Color portrait of soldiers on the Civil War battlefield.
The Civil War ends. And when it ends, there is a tragedy that happens for the miners very soon after it is over. And that is the death of their only child, their son, Gilmer.
Sepia tone drawing of a rural area.
He's killed in a shooting accident, and they live out about 6 miles from downtown. Their property, near their farm, Menoria, there was a shooting range, and you've got to kind of wonder, is that where the accident happened? But these folks are absolutely grief-stricken, and that is when they're going to turn and start to support women's rights, especially the right to vote.
Cartoon of several people gathered near ballot box. Sign reads, "Vote for the celebrated man tamer."
Why? Maybe because between the two of them, Frances and Virginia Minor, have 5 nieces. And maybe they just want to help women in general get the right to vote. That to them is the most important thing. Once you get the right to vote, other things kind of fall into place. If women have an impact, have an influence, they can get laws changed so that they can own property in their own name, that they can buy and sell inherited property, that they can control their own children. And so they start to work on women's rights. And we're going to see that in 1867. There's going to be an organization formed. It's called the Women's Suffrage Association of Missouri.
Woman at conference table addresses a group.
And Virginia Minor is elected as the president. And before that, she had heard that a man by the name of
Photo of suited man with long dark beard.
B. Gratz Brown had supported suffrage for women as well as freed slaves. And he comes back home, and in the meantime, she's written him a letter of thanks, and she's taken it around, and folks have signed it, and they've sent it to him when they give it to him when he arrives back at St. Louis. Then we're going to see that she is going to get 330 some odd signatures on a petition.
Text on screen. We therefore pray that an amendment may be proposed striking out the word male and extending to women the right of suffrage. From Virginia Minor's petition to Missouri State Legislature, 1867.
That is going to go to the state legislature of Missouri, and it asks that women be added to the 14th Amendment, which talked about all citizens having rights, and that as citizens, women should also have a right to vote. The problem with the 14th Amendment and why they opposed it initially is tucked into that 14th Amendment, there's a requirement that talks about men cannot be denied the right to vote, and if they are, a state could be punished. And so they are going to be worried about this. They're not happy with the 14th Amendment, but Frances Minor is going to eventually look at that amendment and decide this can help us.
Old photo of Mercantile Library.
In 1867, Virginia Minor helped form the first group in the whole world that wanted one thing, and that is women's right to vote. They formed the Women's Suffrage Association of Missouri. And soon she is going to join a national movement called, join the National Women's Suffrage Association. And this is a group that is led by Susan B. Anthony.
Photo of Susan B. Anthony.
And so she is starting to get involved in this. She is going to be working to get women the right to vote, and they're going to look at the 14th Amendment for their help. They also look at the 15th Amendment, and they are trying to get this right to vote, because if women get the right to vote, everything else is going to fall into place. They will have an impact. They will be able to control their own destinies. They will be able to, if they are voting, they can get legislators who will vote for things they want. And we're going to see that Frances Minor is very supportive of his wife's efforts, and that they are going to be very much a team. They're even going to travel to Kansas to encourage the state legislature there to vote in favor of women's suffrage. As a member of the National Women's Suffrage Association, Virginia Minor is protesting against women's inferior status, that they are no longer willing to put up with that they are not willing to pay taxes if they don't have the right to vote, and their thought is that the place where this could be settled is at the U.S. Supreme Court.
Photo of 1800 Supreme Court.
And so that is where they're going to start putting their efforts towards getting a case where they can get a case to go to the Supreme Court. And so in 1872, we're going to see that women are going to be trying to vote. And it's because of her husband. He had written a pamphlet, it had circulated throughout the country, and now he is a supporter of the 14th Amendment, where originally, because it doesn't mention women, he opposed it. Now he supports it. And this is called the New Departure. And they are going to use that amendment to get women the right to vote.
Logo, NPS Arrowhead. Text, Gateway Arch National Park, St. Louis, Missouri, 2020.